What's up? What's up? It's time for Done Way Past Funny with your host, G.D. Fenderson. Join us as we take a look back at the early works of seasoned comedians before they were seasoned with this week's guest, Tommy Liberto. It's time to get down and get dope with Done Way Past Funny. Hi, I'm G.D. Fenderson, certified forensic humorist at large, but I'm losing weight. Thank you for joining us as we continue our interview with professional foliage impersonator extraordinaire, Tommy Liberto. Enjoy. Now, I can't believe that at this point you have not been snatched up, especially if you people may remember how Smokey the Bear used to be the spokesperson to prevent forest fires.
Oh yeah.
And then Smokey the Bear got lost in the sauce. They tried to bring him back, and I think people just weren't. I don't know why Smokey the Bear. I think what it is well, they tried to use like animatronics. I think for Smokey the Bear for a while.
Yeah. He kind of got old.
Yeah, but
Yeah, everybody liked Yogi instead.
Yeah, I think people would love a Tommy Liberto version, not of Smokey the Bear, but of a save the forest, forest fire type of message.
I speak for the weed.
Yes, almost like the Lorax. Is it the Lorax? Yes, yeah, just like it would be Lorax 2.0.
Oh yes. I do
for the buds.
I do a fair bit of advocacy also, going around to different protests or different exhibitions like up in Pennsylvania here and in Maryland, DC. I've been to different things where we're fighting for the right. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And hey, I don't know if any of your fans notice or not, or anybody watching, but July 1st, 2023. Recreational, baby. Woo! Well, yeah. Maryland's gone recreational.
I don't know if I could take another comedian telling another July 1st, 420 joke. I don't know.
No, yeah. No jokes, just celebration.
Yeah, that would be a very somber occasion for me. I won't have any jokes for it, but I will have to light one up.
Oh yeah, man. That's the best part. It's like I've been doing the thing. I'll go around and wear I'll put on like a doctor's outfit now. I clean up awfully well. My pictures that went like viral and the things I'm getting paid for, I'm actually wearing a tan suit, like a concrete tan suit, business suit, and just having the headpiece here over top of it, so that I'm looking like a kind of like a normal Joe, but as a pothead. So, but anyway, geez, where was I going with that right there? More weed instead.
Are you afraid of being replaced by edibles? I'm just kidding. No, it's like, edibles will not replace us. Edibles will not replace us. Marching down the street with your little stuff. Well, not a tiki torch, because a torch would be hazardous, but maybe a tiki flashlight. Edibles will not replace us.
I actually used the edible thing as an insult when I first encountered one of my big nemesises up in Pennsylvania. This guy named Bob, and he has trucks. His name is Bob Bolus. Bolus. I'm Bob Bolus, and this guy right here, okay, anyhow, he's got like a campaign truck. He drives around Trenton and everything like that, and he's kind of a gruff guy, and anyhow, he doesn't like weed, and so he came to one of the listening things from the lieutenant governor. Was having these auditorium type shows where he's going around Pennsylvania and having these listening sessions. Fetterman, this guy, Lieutenant Governor Fetterman, who's now the senator. Anyway, he was going around and hearing, the community out and having these community meetings, and people would speak, you know what I mean, what their opinions were, you know what I mean, and then they would do like an informal vote throughout the different 57 counties of Pennsylvania. And this guy Bob was there in Lycoming County, where I had started doing this stuff for the Pennsylvania Cannabis Festival, and Bob was just getting interviewed by Fox News, and he sat there and pointed at me. There's actually a video I have of it online, Anyway, Bob points at me and he's like, "Yeah, you see that dope right there? You can go and smoke them." What I know, and he was like, threw some insult at me, and I just kind of walked past, and I was like, "And you know, Bob, I'm edible too, so you can eat me." Oh, this suit like kind of brings it out. You know what I mean? Like before I put a mask on, nobody took pictures of me. Now that I put a mask on, everybody takes pictures of me. So I mean, I don't know if it kind of tells me something about my face. I don't know. I could take it personally, but I do take it as a severe compliment to be photographed so much. Hold on for a second. All
My
right, I'm
good
better.
side.
Yes, that's my good side. I always do that with the Christmas tree because I always have like a little bit of shade. Like I have my whole face covered and everything, and all the
Uh-huh.
lights and everything. Like, well, completely cover it. But occasionally, it's like I'll have like a little open space, or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's my bad side.
Uh, now, do I have any?
We've got
So,
some good ones.
yeah, I think we covered all the good questions, or even some of maybe one or two bad ones. I
Let's
don't
do some
know.
of the bad questions. You actually smoke the weed? Yes, I'm a cannabis cannibal. As a matter of fact, kind of sort of a cannibal it is.
I think we ran. Well,
I'd smoke me.
actually, before went on air, we actually used up almost every pun we could beforehand.
Oh no! Are you saying you're sapped?
Oh, almost.
He's stumped. We used that one already.
Yes. And
We
leave
just
it at
can't.
that.
Well, we're gonna leave it at that. Ah!
Let's branch out to a new subject here.
There we go.
We're gonna go out on a limb, branch out to a new subject, and so now I'm only asking this because I'm in my 60s now,
Mhm.
and I want to do comedy in all 50 states, and I haven't hit all 50 states yet. And have you hit all 50 states yet?
Oh, not by far. Not by far. With this outfit, I've been mainly on the East Coast.
Okay.
Between here and like Massachusetts. Woo! There's Canadian smoke. Nah. And and down to Florida. I do the Florida Cannabis Festival here occasionally here and there, and then been like kind of back and forth. But it's been mainly an East Coast thing for me. I took Mr. Christmas Tree out to the West Coast back in 2016, out to LA. That was a whole adventure right there, just to discover that. I don't know. There's a lot of weird people out there.
Yes.
I mean, I
Yes.
got out there and I was a bit more normal, but it was really weird. Like I kind of like avoided like media coverage the whole week I was out there. I don't know how I did it. Out here, I can't do it. Not the same way. But
Well,
out there, they don't have the Christmas decorations aren't set up the same way. The palm trees, they put the lights on them and the coconuts, they look like phalluses. Like
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's not the same. So and I came back out here to New York, and it's like it was like it was weird because I come back and I went to go do one day in New York, and literally like I was in like on the train doing an interview and in a newspaper that was literally by the time I got to the train station that morning, my face was on that newspaper. For the subway,
So you're talking about the
like within a
palm
matter
tree.
of a couple hours.
You're talking about the palm trees, how they decorate them out there.
Oh yeah,
It was a friend of mine was working on a movie out there, and there was a hotel that had palm trees in front of it, but the movie was supposed to be taking place in Russia,
right,
where they don't have palm trees.
right.
So they took the trees and they put white like foam around it to make them look like columns. So instead of
Oh wow.
yeah, so if you look at the movie, you see this hotel with these columns in the front, but they're actually just palm trees that they
That's a heck of a way to do it. There, a bit of subterfuge.
yeah
That-
nowadays they'll just digitally erase them.
They
But
do that for cell phone antennas.
oh yeah, especially
Yeah, excuse me, I'm vaping over here. Occasionally, you see a cloud of smoke come out of here.
Well, now I can I guess you can. There you go. Oh, that was not me. Sorry, get out. That was not me. Oh, my my
Oh, that wasn't me.
yeah. Yes, sir. My my farts smell like no. Okay, stop.
My buds are better than yours.
My butt bring all the boys to the yard. Okay. Uh, so now I know there is a different attitude that you have for each. No, well, your two main characters.
Yes.
Uh, so how do you prepare for them? And
Um, for Buddy Appleweed, I just smoke weed and be me.
okay,
And then as Mr. Christmas Tree, it's kind of like channeling a power almost. Like I start doing like I work out before I really kind of launch out. I'll get out and on a bike or go out to the trails out here locally, and start doing like just doing hikes around just to start getting warmed up as it. But I try to do a mental switch when I become Mr. Christmas Tree. When I turn Mr. Christmas Tree on, Mr. Christmas Tree's got manners.
right, yeah,
Like he's got severe manners. He's an equal come out my mouth here. He's an equal opportunity tree,
yes,
non-denominational, and so like as far as like all the religions are concerned, uh, Muslims great with it. You know what I mean? Like I
yeah.
make and like some of the Muslim ladies who have the face coverings with the eyes sticking out, and you can't really see their facial expressions,
They
but I
can
can tell.
relate to what you're going through.
I can tell they're smiling though, because I see those squinty eyes and I see the thumbs up. So and sometimes a lot of people, sometimes they're taken back, when they see it. You know what I mean? But then it's like I'm like I'm here for you. You know what I mean? Like and they have their type of holiday stuff with
Yeah,
Ramadan, things like that. I think I'm real. I could be completely wrong because I'm not a religious guy myself personally. Jewish people love it. I've been through some of the more
Kwanzaa.
heavily Jewish peoples in town. I turn my lights blue and white when I go
Oh,
through there.
okay. For
Yeah,
Hanukkah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
for
my
Hanukkah.
lights are. I got millions of colors on this right here. So it's like, oh, I heard they like blue and white lights. So I do that for the Jewish people. They like the blue and white lights. I like to do that. You know what I mean? And it's good for them. You know what I mean? Because we all have like a lot of commonality
Yes.
that people don't realize. Of course, it's a gimme for the Christians, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The atheists like me. They all like it. They think I'm a cool guy. But I mean, it's a blessing and a half to be able to spread smiles across the religious spectrum with that little Christmas tree right there, and not even have to speak the languages. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we don't have to be the same language, and I'm making them smile. I'm making them laugh. And it's a wonderful thing.
So, what's the weirdest request that you've had to, like, as far as taking pictures? Of like, I want you to take a picture with my grandma. Would you? Uh,
Oh, well, I had somebody that wanted me to scare their grandma. Uh,
wait a minute.
it's on
Was
my
this because
TikTok.
of the will?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. Like literally, because like I did not understand. This guy completely whispers in my ear in a different language. Like it is not English at all. You know what I mean? Like blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, bro. I was like, I think he just told me to scare his grandma, and he's gonna split the will with me. You know what I mean? Like literally, like because like they wheeled her up, and I guess they expected me to scare the piss out of her. But I did what I usually do is I have different levels of scariness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's so like down the bottom is like seniors and old people, and up on the top is young people. Young people can take it a lot better than old people.
Yeah.
So they wheeled her up to me, and they're like, see. Excuse me. Ooh, that was a burp. Mm-mm. But then, when she got up close to me, I had a squirrel thing, and I don't have it with me right now. Unfortunately, I broke it, and it went like that. You know what I mean? And of course, it broke a smile at her. But I think they expected me to scare the pee out of her. You know what I mean? And I was like, nah, can't do that now. I got some rules. I got I
Now,
got I got three rules as a Christmas tree. Number one, don't scare the crap out of old people and kill them because they love them and they get the best gifts for you, right?
yeah.
No, number two, I don't like to give little kids nightmares. Like
Right.
kids could be terrified. That Christmas tree could terrify people, and
Yeah.
especially the little ones,
Or,
and some of
or
them
or
would
by
be,
them finding out you're actually their father. That could also do that too.
yeah, all right.
Tommy
but
Liberto's my father. No.
so I'll pop my face out, you know what I mean, and I make sure
Yeah.
that I try to make sure the kids are okay before we get done with contact. I was like, no nightmares for little kids, and number three, I don't mess with people's service animals or animals in general. Like sometimes I've been known to make them jump, you know what I mean, but like if they're specifically service animals,
Right.
that's a definitely a no go right there. Is that's the thing is like making the animals afraid. Sometimes I'll scare them, but I try not to scare them too bad. They'll jump, but generally I got like that little squeaky thing that I always have in my hand right there.
Right.
The little like
Yeah.
that. I'll do that, and it usually brings the dogs in. Like sometimes I'll just do that before the dogs even see me. I'll give them the squeak. They come up to smell it, and then I stick my hand down. It scares the piss out of them.
Now, because your Christmas tree, in your Christmas tree suit, I noticed you can take your hands out, but you're bare armed.
Yes. Yeah.
Now,
That's because just the way that it was constructed. I have like I was only able to get so much of the black netting. Like I was lucky to get the black netting. This right here is what you'll usually find 9 times out of 10 is this tan netting when you go out looking for it. I was lucky to get that black netting, um, which blends underneath there a lot better. And I've tried to get it to hug around my arms, but I just find that it's better for me to have arms that I can, I can shoot out. I don't have anything, holding it back, so that I
right.
can like do all my normal activities and defend myself if I need to.
Or subway token.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, and I I have everything literally like in a front pack. So like I don't have to take the suit off to get into anything unless I'm gonna like change my layers. I have different layers of insulation, and I carry that stuff in the back of the tree. But in the front, I have like all of my kit for like I have my refreshments, I have my phone stuff, my batteries, cameras, and whatever extra in my front pack right there. And
Now,
so
when you have,
I have full access to it right immediately.
but when you have to go to the restroom, I mean, where do you put your tree? 'Cause you don't want to put it on the floor because the floors are nasty.
Bro, you ever heard of just peeing in the bush? The tree could spring a leak anywhere, literally.
And who's gonna know? Mommy, I think that's sap. Is that maple? I think that tree has maple coming out the bottom.
It is so easy. Literally, I can pee anywhere. Generally, though, I find that throughout the day, like if I do have to go somewhere, like I can go find like a McDonald's bathroom. Peeing up in New York can be very difficult. Very
Yes, that's why I
difficult.
was asking because New York is
I,
it's
I, I I have a
yeah,
portable urinal.
right.
It might sound a little gross, but as a tree, you know what I mean. Like sometimes you gotta go, and nobody can see me. They can't see what I'm doing, and so I have a portable urinal that just crushes up. So in case of an emergency, like really, I can find a corner and just like tell people leave me alone.
I'm working here. I'm working here. Can you take a picture with us? Not now. Oh, okay. Are you peeing? My uncle stands just like that when he has to pee.
Oh, it's ridiculously fun. Being invisible at will at any time, like as I'm walking, is it's literally it's a superpower, and you got to be responsible with it.
Now, I mean, obviously, you started comedy. You started traditional comedy before you did this.
Yeah.
when you were younger, was there somebody who you really wanted to make laugh? So who had the best laugh in your family? That when you heard them laugh, you knew you'd done something right.
Oh gosh.
You
Well, I
understand
mean,
what I'm saying?
my dad had a heavy influence on me being a silly character.
Uh-huh.
Dad used to tell jokes all the time and stuff like that, and then of course I was, inspired by different silly movies, like the John Belushi's and Jim Belushi's. I mean, and Dan Ackerman, like oh man, like all those silly mofo's, man, out there. I always, kind of like wanted to model myself after that, but it was not acceptable. I don't know. I was weird.
Right.
There was something wrong with me. I wasn't exactly that funny, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't trying to be a comedian back then, although I would say that had a lot of heavy influence on me. My dad and everything. And heck, I mean, I've always done stupid things to make people laugh.
Right.
So, I did things like that, stupid stuff for my dad and my uncles, and I've always been kind of stupid.
Okay, now that you've got these characters fully
Hmm.
developed, I mean, they are fully developed. You have members of your family who don't quite get what you're doing. They're like, okay, I understand you can make a living, but
Well,
really?
my kid didn't understand for a bit. Like when I was first doing it, he was kind of like, "Oh, my dad's weird," and like was kind of embarrassed by it. But then like he was like kind of catching on the dig, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, you're on TV!" And then like when he's seeing me on TV when I'm out there doing my thing, and he's like, "Oh my gosh," you know what I mean? Like it kind of clicked. Um,
How
but
old is your shrub?
which one? This one?
No, your shrub, your kid. How
Oh,
old is
my youngest one is 17 now.
Oh my God.
The
Where
the
is the
old
time? Oh my,
the oldest one is 29 now.
and which one were you talking about that was a little bit embarrassed? How old was it?
My youngest one.
Okay, man,
Yeah, man. But
where's the
then
time going?
but then somebody who didn't quite understand it, I would say, would be my older brother.
Uh,
And my older brother, now I would granted say I've got a bit of a story, and we're not going to get, I don't have any tissues right here. I'm pretty sure you don't have any tissues on hand, so we're not going to get into these long stories and everything like that. But we'll just like sum it up to the point where maybe it was a drag to be around me for a couple years for I have my reasons. But anyway, uh, my older brother's friend, or a mutual friend of ours, had seen me on the boardwalk a couple years ago after I did this. It was like 2018, and he saw me on the boardwalk. And now I was doing the busking thing, where I was just being a bushman and jumping out on people and having people take pictures with me and throw tips in my bucket, you know, on vacation. Not like I was going down there for work out of desperation that I needed the money. I
right.
was down there having a good time. I even walked the Christmas tree. I did Christmas in July, and took the Christmas tree on the beach and everything. But anyway, so anyway, the mutual friend runs into my brother and stuff like that, and then I guess word gets back to my brother that I'm down at the beach, and then he had made this really horrible post about Christmas time about not wanting me to be around for the holidays, with the family thing, and they think that they shouldn't invite me because I'm always a drag, and that just and he said I was like nothing more than a homeless street beggar. You know what I mean? Like down in Ocean City, and I was like, bro, Ozzy, you really got a bad angle on me there. You know what I mean? Like, you think I'm a homeless street beggar? Like, I'm dressed up in this costume and it makes me homeless. You know what I mean? Because I'm down there doing my thing. Like, that kind of like struck a little bit. But then I was just kind of going back and I'm like, well, I could say a few things about you too, Mister. But I don't, and I won't here because I have more couth and class than that, or at least I like to think so.
But to me, it's kind of funny because I, for people to think that you're homeless and that's why you're dressed like that.
Yeah, I don't know where he gets it.
Yeah,
It was kind of
I know.
and that it would be like I would be dragging down a party. I think a lot of times what he didn't recognize too is like people might have thought I was weird and everything around the holidays, but it was like yeah, I would do comedy. You know what I mean, to kind of cover up a lot of the pain that was
Right,
going on,
right.
and I would mask that, and of course they could see right through it.
Well, they're probably the cause of it. Some of it, sometimes.
I could,
Yeah,
I could blame people, but I'm beyond that now.
yeah, yeah. I'm beyond blaming. Also, I just, uh,
You
did-
you gave me that noogie, and I never forgot.
yeah.
Before you
Unfortunately, I mean,
pulled my underwear up over top of my head, I won't forget, Dave.
and they weren't clean.
I never got that stain out. Ugh.
I guess. So I'm trying to think.
Man, where can we go with this, right?
Yeah, I think I've gone through. I'm just making sure because I hate to like let you go and then go. What did I? Okay, I guess this again. This is something I would ask a traditional comedian, and that is that a a favorite bit that you think never got its just due. So something that you did that just that I don't know that you just will always remember as being really really funny, but you're probably the only one who thinks it.
Oh. Geez, a lot of people don't get it when I mention old school comedy movies.
Okay.
Yeah, I start mentioning, like 1942, or mentioning like Caddyshack. I start talking about those things, and like, yeah, people are too lost because I'm getting old now.
It's funny. There was the first bit that I was writing because I was in a comedy boot camp in Florida, and one of my punchlines was a reference to Cop Rock. I'm sorry, Cop Rock, which was a uh, Hill Street Blues type show that
Right?
was a musical. So just imagine Hill Street Blues as a musical. It was called Cop Rock. Really bad show, and I think they got like 6 episodes. And I was talking about if you were going to torture a child, don't beat them, make them binge watch Cop Rock. And so the guy, the person who ran the class, Les McCurdy, says nobody's going to get that.
Get it?
Nobody's going to get Cop Rock. And he says you need to make it Honey Boo Boo. And I'm
There
like,
you go.
and I said I'm not making it Honey. I'm not using Honey Boo Boo. I said I
Right?
don't. I said I don't like Honey Boo Boo. I don't watch Honey Boo Boo.
Right?
So what I did was I
There's a
took
lot of people that don't like Honey Boo Boo.
yeah, so what we did was I think if I remember the video now, I wrote us if you want to punish your child, and I did like a 3 thing. I just said make them watch Cop Rock, binge watch Cop Rock, Jerry Springer or Honey Boo Boo like that. So to please everybody.
Oh yeah. You covered your bases.
Yeah, yeah. And I forgot why I went there. I, I'm gonna watch this and remember it made sense when I started thinking about it. I don't know. At any rate,
It's the cannabis, man. It's definitely the cannabis.
I wish I have. Actually, I have. I was going to say I have edibles, but these are guitar picks. These are not edibles.
Yeah, I was chewing on these guitar picks, thinking they were my edibles, man. I was thinking they were kind of stale.
I can't get high, but I can hum a good note. Oh man. So, is there anything that you want to push or promote or something? I'm gonna tell you now. The show what we're doing now. I'm going to edit and it'll be out in for the July shows.
All right,
like first week of July or so. I'll let you know when when it's out, and I'll take excerpts and promote these things. So, is there anything you want to push, plug?
Oh, I don't have any like show schedule or anything
Right.
like that like set up. Like generally it's like if you want to come see me, you gotta spend like $300. Like.
Okay.
But festivals. But let's see. Buddy Appleweed is gonna have a new merchandise line coming out soon.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's kind of hard to describe, but I've got a really fancy artist working on some artwork right now. And well, actually, I have a couple different artists here working, including myself, on doing some stuff to get some merchandise working.
Now, do you have a 3D printer?
No, but that is next. I want to 3D print Christmas trees as Christmas tree ornaments.
Yeah, because I have an urn.
Mhm.
I have a thing I do called 101 uses for my urn before I die. And actually, at one point, my urn was actually more popular than I was. And I wanted to make a 3D. I'm going to make 3D versions of my urn about this big,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, and to sell as keychains or we'll see how big they are because I have to get a 3D printer first and see
Yeah,
what.
yeah, yeah, man. A
Yeah,
good like 2 inch, 2.5 inch urn right there that would fit on your
yeah,
keychain, not too big for your pocket.
yeah. I, like I said, to get a 3D printer and check the quality out first because I wanted it to be a keychain. It looks like, oh, it can't be a keychain. It's not. It's too ugly. It's gonna have to be a.
No, it could be a keychain pill holder.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, because they have those little like little stainless steel pill like things you can put on your keychain to hold pills in them.
Now, here's something else for you. Um, a picture book, a Tommy Liberto pop-up book.
That is also another thing I'm working on. Is the sequel to Tommy the Tiny Christmas Tree.
Oh, okay.
Real freaky story here. Tommy the Tiny, real freaky story here.
And
Tommy,
and a lot
Tommy,
of alliteration.
yeah. Tommy the Tiny Christmas Tree was written. This is a book that was written and put together or written, I guess, the year before I was born,
Okay.
1972. It was not published until 2013. And I had no idea about it until I started doing more research about like the Christmas tree thing, like after my run when I was looking for me in the news and stuff and Googling after my first year in 2014. Like that was like one of the things that came across my Google search was Tommy the Tiny Christmas Tree. And there's a story about Tommy the Tiny Christmas Tree and all these other trees become Christmas trees, and will Tommy become a Christmas tree? And it's got a picture of Santa like, we'll cut you down soon enough, But yeah, I want to do the sequel to that, where I've become a Christmas tree, and now I'm running around New York City and putting smiles on people's faces everywhere.
Or solving crime, fighting crime. No, no.
Bring
You
it.
and Batman. You and Batman joined forces to fight crime.
A story about bringing the Christmas spirit and the spirit of the holidays to all the people of all the different religions that I run into. It'll be a children's book about equity and inclusion. You know what I mean? Like, because we all have our own thing. We all have things that we separate.
In other words, you plan on getting banned in Florida.
Yes.
Okay.
100%. Man, yeah. When it comes to the people acting all crazy and getting all discriminatory and acting awful to other folks, man, I am absolutely 100% against it. And I was gonna say a curse word.
Oh, you can curse if you want to.
I get it. Oh man, I was like, I effing hate them.
Foliage?
Huh?
That's the F word. Foliage? I'm trying to think what the F word would be.
I think it's funkin'. Yeah. And Buddy can cuss. The Christmas tree can. I was trying. He got little virgin ears over here.
Okay, gotcha. I understand.
Yeah. Do you remember the controversy over top of this?
Yes.
Made you look right. Well, you know how the white supremacist people try to get all up in that shit, and they're like, "Oh no, it's ours." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I launched a campaign when that happened, and then I was like, "I'm taking it back because this is something I played back in high school, and it had zero to do with being a racist asshole." Right. So what it is oh man, I even have a prop. I have a fantastic prop. Oh my gosh. I can't break out the prop right now. I'll break it out on you in public and in person. Yeah, I'll save it for people in person. But anyhow, so if anybody's familiar with this right here's the game, right? Made you look. That's what the game is. Right. So I came up with new rules with the game because the rules for the game is like if you looked at this thing, if the person, you're like, oh, check this out, and you looked at it and you didn't poke your finger through it, right. you're supposed to poke your finger, you know what I mean? Like just you got to be quick, If you didn't, you got punched in the shoulder. Right. That was the game. And so now I've had to reestablish new rules for the game. So I say Here it is, right? If you're playing the game, you're okay. If you're saying you're okay, you're okay. If you're saying let's smoke a J, let's smoke a J. That's okay also. If you're calling somebody an asshole in sign language, that's how you do it also, huh? Same thing, right?
Yeah.
But if you're doing this for white supremacy, boom. That's who's getting punched. Can't stand it. I'm intolerant of their intolerance.
I'm going to do something with the screen real quick. At least I'm going to try to, because people haven't seen your whole tree, because since we started, we've been in split screen.
Right?
So I'm just trying to show people if I can. No, let's try
Look.
one more time.
There we go. I had it kind of halfway off.
Oh, okay.
That was me. Christmas tree, that's me. And weed.
There we go. Yeah, I wanted people to get the full
Effect on the Christmas tree.
Yeah, the full Monty.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
right.
I was gonna put it on. I was like, well, I was like, I got between this and that, and it's gonna get kind of messy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, well, I have covered all of my questions, and
Right on.
So, is there anything you want to? Okay. Anything you want to causes? What was it? That's advocate. Anything you want to advocate? Advocate?
Anything you want to advocate for? Anything you're trying to push? Any causes or anything like
right.
that?
Yes. Exactly. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, check this out. I don't know where my next show is going to be. I am out and around in events and festivals. There's a good chance you'll see me at Artscape this year. That's coming in September. Artscape is back. Yay!
All right.
But other than that, if you go to any of my pages here, Mr. Christmas Tree or Buddy Appleweed, might have to fidget around a little bit, you'll find me. I've got a new merch collection that's coming out, and I'm going to have some really cool Mr. Christmas Tree prints and Buddy Appleweed, stuff that's going to, I hope that you guys are going to want to buy.
Now, get yourself a bobblehead.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Ooh, I tell you, it's like I had to completely lay off, concentrating on doing any regular work, and just do this full time.
Right.
For real. But I just tried my whole initial thing getting into it was trying not to concentrate on the money though. Being focused on money, and all the money that I'm not making right now, I would be kind of disappointed in myself, and kind of set myself up for failure. So I try not to concentrate on the money, because when I concentrate on the money, I'm not being funny.
I understand. Yeah, because like I said, I am a professional professional-ish.
Yeah.
On my tax purposes, this is comedian. and I keep track of all the money I'm almost making, and all the expenses I'm definitely putting out there.
You got to get out there and keep doing it, and keep doing it, and keep doing it, and don't listen to the naysayers. Now, if your friends have something good for the input and constructive criticism, that's one thing. But everybody else out there,
that's it. So, Tommy, I really thank you for doing this for me. It's been good. It's been good seeing you, even virtually.
GD, this has been awesome. It's been a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me on.
And FYI, do you remember which Superman it was? Because I want to put his picture up, and I'm trying to remember which guy it was.
Oh my! As a matter of fact, I can put it. Let's see. I can do that. Okay.
I just wanted to Google the right Superman, because what it is when people talk about things like I'm gonna put some of an insert up so people know what they're talking about, like 1942. I'll probably put up the flyer from the movie or something, or the poster from the movie. Or
his name is Dean Cain.
Dean Cain.
Dean Cain.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember it off the top of my head. It was like the first person that comes up to enthusiastically come and shake my hand. You know what I mean? He's bursting past the security guards. He's got 3 security guys with him, man. He's like, no, man, it's all right, man. You know what I mean? Coming out to me, and he's got to shake my hand. I got a cigarette in my mouth, because at this point, I was like, yeah. They don't like me at the Today Show. I'm a bad tree. You know, and I'm like smoking a cigarette. I'm a bad tree. That was the last time I ever smoked a cigarette in that outfit like that. But I had Superman come up to try to say hi to me, and I got a cigarette stuck to my lip. I'm like, blah, 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 you know. I gotta shake his hand. You know what I mean? Like I gotta
Yeah.
put my hand up like through the outfit, like right here. I'm like, yeah, you go.
Oh,
Uh,
that's why I mentioned the thing about the hands. Do you have like small animals that you could like stick out like a squirrel that comes out and you know,
oh, a squirrel. Now I was thinking about using a squirrel gag.
or a bird, or like a, or like a cuckoo bird, you know, like a cuckoo, not a cuckoo bird,
I
but
do have a fake snake.
oh, okay.
I have a fake snake that's made out of black rope, and it looks like a black snake, and
Oh, okay.
it's like the same size as a black snake, and I kind of like used a lighter to melt it down so the head looked a lot more realistic. And then I put I tied a string to it. And you remember that trick that back in the 70s that they
Oh,
had this
the
little
little
the
worm
fuzzy
thing.
string thing? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be doing that with a big snake. I'll sit there and like hook the string onto something and like kind of pick it up. I'm like, oh, look what I got here! And oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking the squirrel could be like a sidekick, you know, that
Have us. The Christmas tree. I was thinking about
yeah,
one of those squirrels that are
like
like on a track. You know what I mean? So it like runs around on a track.
yeah, like if this is a tree to come out and go, "Hello, boys and girls. Hi there. I'm Squirrely Squirrel. I'm
uh,
Mr. Bud." No, not the bud, but the tree, you know. So, Merry
I had a therapy pigeon for a while.
yes, yeah, that would be great.
Therapy pigeon came along with me to some of the music festivals, and it was just a plastic pigeon, and along the same lines of the joke dog there, you know.
Right.
And so anyhow, that right there, I would sit there and have him up underneath here, and it was a hardtail thing, and I would poke him out occasionally, you know, or I put him on my shoulder or have it resting on my hat. And I would do the the different voice. Hey, what are you looking at? You know what I mean? Like, you guys want to get high? Come on, this guy's dressed like a weed outfit. Come on, bring it out. And I'm like, well, that's not me, man. That's the bird, man. And I also tell people that because like a lot of people talk about therapy animals and everything like that. You know what I mean? I was like,
Right.
they're like, is that your therapy animal? I was like, no, actually, I'm his therapy animal. You know what I mean? I was like, the only reason I got in here is because the bird's famous, not me. You know? Oh, terrible, terrible, terrible.
I don't have a license. You think I drove the bird?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It was fantastic until I lost it one time. And terrible enough, I lost it at a pigeons playing ping pong concert. Never got the poor guy back.
Are
But yeah,
pigeons playing ping pong? Okay.
yeah, he ran off with the band. I guess I'm not
Uh,
sure. You know, like I'm running back and forth in between the crowd. I've got my squirt gun, and like it's like 95, 100 degrees almost, something like that outside. And I'm going through. You know how all the crowd they're always looking up at the show and everything.
right.
I go in between the rows and work my way back and forth in between the rows of this concert with my squirt gun. And I'm squirting, squirt, 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 squirt. I'm getting like the whole crowd. Like, oh, it's ridiculous. Watering the humans is what I call it. But I was going crazy doing that on a couple of runs and totally lost my bird.
It's probably somebody's mascot now.
Yeah, right.
Oh man. So,
Craziness.
well, I appreciate you taking this time to do this with me. I really do.
Right
So,
on, man. Thanks, GD.
and thank you. Take care.
Oh, such good times. Good times. I'm trying to give you a good outro. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well, I have like a musical outro, you know,
Hmm.
kind of like the introduction, but I don't put that on to the very, very end. I edit it in later. Edit on
Right.
later.
Right on.
So
What do you use for editing?